What is your inner posture? Particularly when you're having a difficult time of it, a triggering moment. Is your inner posture one of caring, loving presence? That's a big question, and it's been something I've been journeying through and discovering that when I hold myself in a place of caring, loving presence, when I'm feeling triggered, when I'm feeling impatient, those little moments add up to habits, to bigger moments. And it affects how we speak to ourselves within, not just so much the words we use, although that's also important, but our posture beneath those words. Now, I know it can be difficult to sometimes treat ourselves with care, with love, especially if we didn't get that in our early life. We didn't have an attentive mother, a nurturing parent. But the wonderful news is that you can create new neural connections, new neural pathways. You can transform what's in the tissue by bit, slowly, patiently, stopping yourself and just pausing here and there throughout your day and noticing, am I holding myself with caring, loving presence? So we're going to do a little exploration, little experiment. Sometimes if we weren't treated with caring, loving presence, it can be really feel very difficult, or we feel unworthy of treating ourselves in this manner. But you're here because you are at least curious, if not committed, to your transformation, to being whole, to being present, to living fully and participating fully in all the joys of life and all the other emotions that may not be so joyful, but make us and make you fully human. It's all to be honored and to be treated with caring, loving presence. So take a moment and ask yourself, is it challenging for me to treat myself and to speak and hold myself with caring, loving presence? And just allow a nice long exhale as you gently consider that question. And if you feel any little tweaks or anything going on, or if there's a sense that there might be a little block there, the interesting thing is that our bodies, we came into the world and we were created to innately want to be cherished, to be loved, to be cared for. Your body innately knows that place. You just might not have touched into it in a while. So take a moment as we experiment with this little tip, little help for you, of a nice long exhale. And as you do that, let your bottom just sink into the surface. Allow the muscles of your face to just soften ever so gently, especially around the eyes, maybe around the mouth, as you exhale. And then allow that breath to come in. Soften the muscles around the throat. Around the belly, the chest. Even if it's just a teeny tiny bit of softening, notice that this long exhale with this softening is a form of caring, loving presence. And take a moment to notice this feels like, because your body will remember it on some level. So that's something you can practice, particularly when you find yourself being harsh with yourself or having that difficult or triggered moment, just to pause, exhale, soften particularly around the eyes, the mouth, the throat, the chest, the belly. Those are the key areas where we tend to armor and want to self-protect. And the irony is that being gentle and softening that just a teeny tiny bit will begin to help you become more in your body. And this is empowering, right? Coming back into this presence with yourself, this caring, loving presence, which you were designed for. You were made for that. The other little strategy or exploration you can go with is, I would bet that there's something in your life right now that you speak with and have this inner posture of caring, loving presence. Maybe it's when you speak to a loved one. Maybe it's when you speak to your pets, your dogs. Maybe it's when you're out in nature. Maybe it's with a child. Maybe it's with a beautiful plate of food. It can be anything. And you put yourself in that place. You exhale. And you can use a beautiful affirming phrase such as, I'm here. I'm with you. The body just wants you to be with it, right? Just ever so gently. And from that place of caring, loving presence, as if you're speaking to another, turn that gently inward and allow yourself to be treated with that care and that love. Okay, so take a moment now just to imagine whatever's the easiest, most accessible for you. And gently exhale, feel the body soften, and speak to yourself with that love. I'm here. I care. I'm listening. I love you. All right. So those are a couple of strategies you can take for accessing caring, loving presence, the inner posture of caring, loving presence. I'll be doing another video in a little bit about the affection qualities that emerge from our voice when we are in this inner posture of caring, loving presence, and all the wonderful benefits, but mostly just being in these places of care, of love, of presence, of affection, simply because we're meant to be that way. And now it's your turn. Take it, play with it. I would love to hear some of your discoveries. And I thank you so much for joining me. This is Maria Simeone. And if you found this helpful, please give it a share, give it a like. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, and be well.